Hey folks, this is Brian again. Hey, I've got finally to play Princes of the Apocalypse again. So, got a video of my Princes of the Apocalypse campaign for 5th edition D&D. And last time we had left our heroes. They were escaping from the air elemental Spire. And I'd been, thinking about this whole encounter previously, and I wasn't sure how many of the knights were still left in the tower, because I thought there were more. But there's the knight that was down in the stables, the knight who went down to the stables, who was telling people along the way down that something's going on. There was the one knight that was left on the 8th floor, Area 8, that had been engaged with the whole spider incident. And then I went ahead and let the captain of the tower, Thurl, I think his name is, make death saving throws. And he made all 3 of his, so he's still alive. And then there's the priest that was there and one initiate who survived the encounter. Then there's the 4 initiates of the cooks and working the kitchens. And I think that is it. I have to go back and double check, but I think that's pretty much it. 5 initiates, a priest, the captain of the guard, and 3 knights. So I'm thinking the party can probably, if they escape or survive the escape, come back and try and take the tower from the bottom up. Do an actual infiltration this time. Oh, plus there's Savra, the girl. She's still alive too, but they've got her. She's unconscious with the party. They're trying to take her back to her family. So I have them set up on top of the plateau, their marching order, how they're getting out of there. And Grant, the player who runs the female warlock, who's dressed up like a member of the cult, talked about being in the middle, and that's what I had in my head when I was running through. But when they actually set up, she was way off to the side. And so if you are playing being the prisoner of a group, and you're off to the side, why are you not running away the other direction? 2020 hindsight kind of stuff. Well, anyway, the 2 knights mount up on the 2 vultures down there, and there are 4 hippogriffs, and the air elementalists have got a connection with air kinds of things, and so I let them do some stuff with the hippogriffs that probably they may not have been able to do with, because they're only intelligence at 2, which is the same as a horse, and is also the same as an eagle, by the way. So, not really trained, but you've got some, you whistle, they come, that kind of thing. So they all fly out and they surround them. They got a vulture in front, a vulture in back, and 2 hippogriffs on each side, and they're capturing. The guy gets up there and he says, he points his spear at the lead guy. He says, "Leave our members, and you can leave the plateau alive. Otherwise, you're going to die here and now." And the tiefling paladin, while not the leader of the party, is the leader of this raid. So he's speaking up, because it's one of his quest things is get this girl back. Well, not really. It's to find the girl and find what's going on. So he starts talking, and there's some banter back and forth, and the guy in the back, who knew about some of the stuff, made some counter accusations. The tieflings claiming that in good faith we went in your tower and you ambushed us. But as I recall, there were some issues with their story, and so the knight let them in so they could find out what was really going on, and they did ambush them kind of thing. But it's not like, the knight saw the warlock climbing up the wall and getting in, so he knew what was going on. Something fishy was going on. And so he made some counter accusations, and They all start getting closer and closer and closer. And so finally, a couple of the party members go, hey, we don't have a dog in this fight. The wood elf does his little, I can disappear into anything kind of deal and starts just sneaking off. Barbarian lets the girl down because the barbarian and the tiefling were together carrying the unconscious girl, so they could move at a decent speed. Because they're figuring out, she's like 130 pounds kind of thing, and trying to carry one person, and that way it's going to drop down. You're going to remain encumbered, and so you'll be moving at 20 feet around instead of 30 feet around, that kind of thing. So between the two of them, we figured we could do 30, that it would work out. So eventually the tiefling, acquiesces, lets the girl down, and the party doesn't depart just yet. The guy in the back, because that's where the girl was towards the back of the party, unbuckles and gets off his thing, his giant vulture, grabs the girl, puts her over the neck of the vulture, climbs back on, and then they all take off. Oh, wait. At some part during all that, the guy in front points to the warlock, because she's still dressed up, and says, "Sister, mount your ride." So she walks over and gets on one of the hippogriffs. Now, the hippogriffs aren't saddled because they didn't have time for all that. So she's got to grip on tight. But then they all take off, and they go and they land. So I've got a split party kind of thing here. We do the rest of the party first. They take off down the plateau, get off the plateau, get down to the hills where there's some trees and stuff, hide, make camp, and they're going for a long rest. The warlock has some interaction with the two riders as they're going up the spire. Talking to her about what happened, that kind of thing, and she does a spiel about how these people were earth cultists, the party. So she tries to do that earth cultist spin, and of course, well, not of course, but the air spire and the earth temple, while they're all part of elemental evil, they clash a lot. In fact, the hidden graves part of the scenario was an actual combat encounter between air and earth cultists, where they killed some earth cultists. So, when she says they're from the monastery, I think she said the stone monastery. They kind of go, those nasty earth cultists. And so they go up the spire, and they go not all the way up the top, because there's two levels of room, barracks rooms, whatever. And so she drops off on the one room that she snuck in to do a short rest, do some stuff like that. And the rest of the knights kind of just gather together. Well, trying to play the times and stuff like that. She does her little spiel, and then she starts writing out a suicide note. And references one of the knights' names. Not that he was a problem, but that, she started flirting with him and that kind of thing. He rolled low on his, counter rolls, and he rolled high on his reactions, and so he's got a thing for her. So she's playing off of that in her little suicide note. After her short rest and her suicide note and trying to figure out what she's going to do, because she's thinking that she'll just sneak out and go. I think the knight's name was Jeffrey. I know it started with a J. I was just making some of these names up. Well, by the time she's done, she starts hearing, the doors opening and closing, and lots of people talking and feet moving around and stuff. And so she tries to sneak out, but I have to draw out for her, that level, because the doors to the spiral staircase that go down are on the opposite side of where the rooms are, but are in fact on the same side as the great room, which is where the table is, which is where everybody's sitting down to eat. So she comes out and everybody's sitting there eating, and they say, "Sister, come sit, eat. Tell us your story." And the only person there who's really seen her was the captain of the tower. Of course, he was, he had just recovered from being, knocked unconscious, kind of thing. So I made a roll for him, but he didn't make it. So could they all have been much more suspicious of the whole situation? Yeah, they could have. But I was playing with it. This is what the player wanted to do, and it was within the bounds of reasonability. I could suspend disbelief enough with the rolls I was making that the people left in the tower figure she's either a new recruit or a visiting cultist, that kind of thing. So they're doing their deal. She sits and eats, but she's she's playing off of the whole I'm going to commit suicide, so she's just moving food around on her plate, kind of thing. And they're discussing what to do next, and I let some stuff spiel about hey, we've got to wait for reinforcements and this and this and this and this kind of thing. And I don't know if you really caught on to that or not, but it was out there. And so the knights get together and go, okay, we've got to put out a watch, put them up on the tower. We've got the 4 initiates and 3 knights. That's 8. That's an hour each. And I think Jeffrey volunteered to go first. No, they had discussed the whole what are we going to do now thing without the captain of the Spire and without the priest. It was just the knights talking. And that's where they came up with this whole deal. We've got the 4 initiates, and we've got these 3 knights. We can, 1 hour each, and Jeffrey went to do his thing down. So after the short rest and some of the watches and stuff like that, at that point, an initiate comes down and comes out and speaks with Jeffrey, and Jeffrey says, "Sister, it's your turn for watch." And so she actually made a pass at him while they were eating, but he didn't catch it. And so she makes another pass at him as she goes up the stairs. And she goes all the way up to the top of the tower. So I'll describe the whole top of the tower kind of thing and stuff. And there's a telescope there the only thing they talk about is taking their telescope and throwing it off kind of thing. But instead of actually looking and seeing, where is this telescope looking? Because it's pointing right at Red Larch. So she gets up there. I make some rolls. Jeffrey follows her up. I make a couple passes. And at this point, my son, who's one of the players, is just getting all grossed out about these 2 adult men playing a girl and a boy, making fun time. So he left the room. But so I'm not really playing that much. I'm just saying, okay, he'll make a pass, he'll make some comments, that kind of thing. He didn't roll too well. And then, but Grant, he's all into this role playing. The girl made things difficult. It was really funny. And so he's actually making comments and that kind of stuff was pretty cool. But anyway, they make a couple of these things, and the party's talking. Escape with him. Escape together. The star-crossed lovers escaping the tower kind of thing. And I make some more rolls, and he rolled low to resist, and he rolled high on his reaction. So the story she concocts is, we know they're Earth cultists. I know they're heading towards Red Larch. We can find them. We can find them tonight. Let's go and do it. So he says, yeah, let's do it. We'll kill you. And his thing on this thing is, remember earlier there was that the Shallow Graves part where Earth cultists killed the air cultists, and people are talking about that. Or air cultists killed Earth cultists, and the guys in the Spire are talking about that because that was a hit. That was good. So he's thinking the same sort of thing. I can do this. I can get some glory out of this thing. So he says he'll get an initiate to take over the watch while she goes down and saddles the giant vultures. So she goes down, saddles the giant vultures. She goes into the first, starts checking doors. She has no idea where any of these animals are. So she starts checking doors. And she gets to one that's got a giant vulture in it. And so she goes walking in. I have her make an animal animal handling roll, which she failed. And it says right in the book that these beasts know the cultists in the tower. They know the knights. And if you're dressed like one, they may not notice at first, but if you get close enough, they can tell the difference. So she comes in, makes her animal handling roll, misses it, vulture attacks. And I don't remember if he missed with his beak or his claws, but he did some damage to her. She does hellish rebuke on him. He does some more damage to her. She does another hellish rebuke on him. And at that point, he's down to 1 hit point, but she's also down to like 3 hit points. So she just bolts out of there, slams the door shut. Yeah, he got a crit. That's right. The vulture got a crit with his talons. So she's got leather armor on. And, how do you describe? Yeah, she played up. She's obviously been bumped up and bruised and tore and bitten and that kind of thing. But can you really tell that? I'm thinking though that she's got pretty decent scrape, streaks, claws across her belly kind of thing. But a couple rounds later, here comes Jeffrey, and he goes, "What happened?" She makes this about falling down the stairs, that kind of thing. And I don't know if she made the suggestion of just taking his bird or not, but that's what they end up doing. He goes to his stable, opens up his thing, saddles up his bird. They both get on it. She's cuddling up on him, that kind of thing, blowing his ear or whatever. And they take off, and they go flying. She makes a couple of rolls. The party, while they were down there, it's about time for the manticore hunt to happen. So the manticore's out flying around. A couple have made their perception rolls and notice that it's up there. There's not a giant eagle. There's nothing riding it. This is not one of those hippogriff things, or giant eagle, giant vulture. And it's not a hippogriff either, but something big, and it's flying. So that was just, get some color to things going on. And then they come flying, the warlock and Jeffrey come flying over with the giant vulture. They're flying around looking, because they don't know where they are. They know roughly where they're going. And she knows that the wood elves would want to camp like in a forest kind of area because they just want to hang out in the woods, especially the druid. The druid's very, very granola-y. Whenever they go to town, he stays out in the woods, that kind of thing. So they're flying around, make some perception rolls. The guys on the ground make perception rolls. She makes her perception rolls, but Jeffrey doesn't make his. But she's got dark vision too, so she can see a little better at night. And so she points out where they are, kind of thing. They see what's going on. The guys on the ground see a vulture with passengers coming along. So kind of debating between themselves is this a lone vulture coming to get us, or is this, the warlock escaping and coming back with us, and she's got a prisoner with her or something, And so the warlock's got the light globe. I forget what it's called, but she sends it off and down to give light to the area so that Jeffrey can see where to go, and to signal the party that this is actually her, and to not really worry. So they come down there within, I start counting 120 feet, 60 feet, 30 feet. And at that, I think they start doing something. I don't remember them actually, they get weapons ready, that kind of thing. I don't remember them actually attacking yet, though. So Jeffrey's at 30 feet with the eagle. He reaches back, grabs her arm, and says, "Hold on, I'll let you down." And so he does a quick landing, slings her off to one side, leaps forward, and the vulture attacks the barbarian. Oh, yes. Who do we hit first? And she says, "Hit the bear guy." The barbarian's got this bear cloak head thing that he wears all the time. So he lands, moves forward. Vulture attacks. He spears. The warlock kind of goes off to the side behind him, where the tiefling paladin was, because they had separated. At that point, everybody starts attacking Jeffrey. The warlock's trying to do dancing lights as some kind of, fake magic, magic or fireball, or flaming darts or magic missiles. And we're all discussing, how can you disguise dancing lights as another spell kind of thing? But because it's not going to explode as a fireball would, so we're all kind of discussing that. And meanwhile, the wood elf rogue from the dark is, doing sneak attack arrow shots on him. The other druid's in a tree with thorn whipping at him. And the barbarian's attacking. The tiefling and the warlock aren't really doing anything. They're just kind of watching what's going on. They managed to kill Jeffrey, and in the next round, kill the vulture. And at that, the barbarian, he's our teenager player. He wants to have, a slave or whatever. So he does medicine on Jeffrey to stabilize him so he doesn't die. So now they get this conundrum, because you got this lawful good paladin who says, he's our prisoner now, we cannot just kill him. That is wrong. If we would have killed him during the fight, that's fine. But once you stabilized him, that is wrong. And that eventually convinces the warlock, technically you're right. So now what are they going to do? Now the two druids are saying, well, let's just kill him. The druid's saying, he's an animal, put him out of his misery, that kind of thing. And so they decide, okay, we'll tie him up and talk to him. They gag him, they tie his feet and his hands. And then they take their long rest. Jeffrey's out. The unconscious will last 4 hours, but it's nighttime now, so he'll wake up in the morning. So I let them wake up first. And the tiefling talks to him. If I ungag you, can you talk civilly? And sure, whatever. Yes. So they ungag him, and they have this little discussion thing, and this tiefling is convinced that everybody in this air cult Spire thing are being manipulated, and that there's some evil force controlling them. And he's trying to convince this air cultist guy of it, and the air cultist guy, he knows that they're really bad guys, but they're all about deception, and they actually do protect the valley, and they actually do protect the people of Waterdeep. And, these are things that they do. They're a good group, and that's what he's spouting out at this guy. And at some point during the discussion, the warlock comes out in her regular clothes with her hair changed, and comes out and talks to him. And so I'm making rolls with him, and he can't figure out what's going on, because I'm getting these mediocre rolls, right? Eventually he rolls a low reaction, and she confesses she's a criminal. They stuck in the tower. While her feelings were real, her purpose was not. That kind of thing. Excuse me. So they make this deal. Hey, let me go. I'll go back to my tower. You guys can disappear. And they kind of figure out that's the best thing to do. He walks out of the party. He walks about 60 feet away. At that point, he starts to run, and he casts the escape spell, which gives him an extra dash. So he is booking out of there faster than anybody can get to him. And the warlock kind of spouts out that he could send Aloysius, his imp, which he resummoned that night, after him and kill him. And the paladin, what? I just want to see your reactions. Okay. So they let him go to the tower. And then they need to figure out what to do next. They've leveled up at this point. So spell points in. And I do leveling up a little differently. Some stuff is automatic. It just kind of happens, or something you've been working on and you get it, that kind of deal. But some stuff I role play out. So the druid needs to find a moon druid circle so he can get his moon druid stuff. And the paladin needs to find somebody to help him with some of his stuff. And so they decide they're going to go to the Paladins of Tyr at their thing, and then go to the High Forest. We're hitting 25 minutes now, so I'm going to stop here. So this is part A. There is a part B. Stand by.